A key element of this year's Global Sustainable Events Summit are the case studies delivered by destinations. And I'm talking to Dorte Schultz from Vancouver shortly after her presentation. Dorte Schultz, you're here at the Global Sustainable Events Summit today from Tourism Vancouver, and you've been presenting one of the key case studies. Could you first of all talk us through that?
Sure. Yes, I've been talking about some initiatives that Vancouver has taken to help or assist the city in becoming the greenest city in the world by 2020. So we have hired an energy specialist to assist our more than 1,000 members to become more sustainable, energy efficient, and also to generally just help promote Vancouver as becoming a more sustainable city.
That sounds fantastic. What a great initiative. And could you give us some of the detail, some of the effects that's having at the moment, and maybe some of the plans that you've got coming up?
Well, one of the things we have done as well as Tourism Vancouver is we have kind of appointed some conservation ambassadors that are kind of to put peer pressure on the members of Tourism Vancouver and the industry itself, and put ourselves in a leading position, saying we want this to happen. We want to make sure that Vancouver is on the map for being a very sustainable city within Canada and in the world. So different initiatives for them to help the members become more sustainable.
And what's happening on the ground? I mean, what kind of initiatives are actually being applied that shout out that Vancouver is really going for this and really will, by 2020, was it, become the most sustainable city in the world? I mean, what kind of initiatives you've got coming up? What kind of things on the ground, the nitty-gritty stuff that's actually going to make that reality, that dream an absolute reality?
The City of Vancouver has come up with a 10 key step action plan that is sort of encompassing the local industry, but also the local people. So sort of composting at curbside, picking up composting, make sure that the water is clean, make sure that everybody living in Vancouver has access to a green space within 5 minutes walk, things like that. So it's reducing the carbon footprint by only allowing hybrid taxis in as new taxis ever since 2007, actually. So local initiatives that is going to have an impact on the city itself.
With respect to the events industry within Vancouver, how are you getting them on board?
Well, we had the expansion of the Vancouver Convention Centre, which was done in 2009, just before the Winter Olympics and Paralympic Games. In itself is a LEED Platinum certified venue, and that in itself means that anybody hosting meetings there makes sure that everything is in place for having a very sustainable meeting. And that provided a platform for the hotels that weren't already kind of working on this to step up to the plate, and sort of was kind of the springboard together with hosting the Olympics and the green initiatives that was taken in that connection.
Oh, that's interesting. So the aspect of the venue itself becoming, very sustainable for the major event of the Winter Olympics has driven a lot of the others along down the supply chain, because I suppose that's what they're demanding, isn't it?
Well, it's kind of provided the platform, and the Olympics did that as well. At that point in time, it was the greenest athletes' village that's ever been built, and is now being used for housing and community services. So in that respect, the Olympics probably provided that platform, or made it sort of more accessible for everybody, and was kind of the kickoff for that, and it was also that leaving that legacy, and it put Vancouver on the world scene as well.
It was really interesting you mentioning about the legacy, Dorte. Could you tell me a little bit more about how that's manifested itself, particularly on the social side?
Well, the city has all the infrastructure got upgraded in that respect. So for people that are living there, commuting to and from some of the suburbs has become much easier, which was on the drawing board already, but because of the Winter Olympics, it sort of got speeded up, which is great legacy. But I think also seen from a more business point of view, it put Vancouver on the map. And if you can host the Olympics, you can host any type of event, really.
So the pure fact that you were able to cope with something like that has attracted more and more people to the destination anyway?
Yes, it has.
That's great, Dorte. Thanks very much for speaking to us.
You're welcome.